Welcome back to Holy Cow, your Chicago Cubs show here at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Before we get into the game by game debacle the Chicago Cubs were in Colorado, let's talk about the mediocre spot that they find themselves in. They are 35 and 34, and their run differential is just 4. That is as average as it comes. That is as mediocre as you can possibly be. They have completely erased that hot start they had. Since May 9th, which feels like a long time ago, they are 7 and 22. In terms of the standings, the division crown is slipping away day by day. They are 8 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers. And while I'm recording this, Mr. Rossi just struck out 15. Ridiculous. Cubs are still hanging around though. They are a half game out of the last wild card spot. They had the best record in the major leagues. Now they're a half game out of the wild card spot, barely a month later. Let's be real. If you keep playing like this, when we talk about the playoffs, at any point, we'll be talking about who should we call up in September. And not only who should we call up in September, but who should we trade at the deadline. That is just about 6 weeks away. Game 1 of this series, I set the tone in the worst possible way. Cubs lost 7-3. Why did they lose? 2 reasons. Terrible starting pitching and offense that is allergic to hitting with runners in scoring position. Said it once, said it before. Everyone knows this about the Cubs right now. They can't hit breaking pitches and they can't hit with runners in scoring position. Colin Ray took the mound and got his ass whooped. You know, he's been solid for the most part of this season, so I ain't gonna do too much on Colin. Everyone's gonna get rocked from time to time, and this was his turn. He only lasted 4 2/3. He gave up 2 home runs. He out of the 7 earned runs. He had been struggling away from Wrigley Field though. His road ERA is over 8. He left his fastball over the plate the entire time he was in the game. And the Rockies, for as terrible as they are, they ate off that. Can't just blame the pitching though. The offense, it's funny how bad they are. 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Michael Bush gave the team a small glimmer of hope with a solo home run. Alex Bregman had a sac fly. But when you're playing a Coors Field, a solo home run and a sac fly cannot be the extent of your offense. That is terrible. With all those bellies in the thin air, you got to score runs. I mean, it's been that way for as long as Coors Field's been in the majors. Since what, early 90s? You got to score runs. You figured it would help this Cubs offense. Did not help them on this day. Moving to game 2, Rockies won on a walk-off 3-2. It felt like the end. I want to lie to you and say it didn't feel like the end of the season, but it definitely did when the Cubs lost that game. The Rockies started a pitcher whose total ERA is worse than Colin Ray's on the road ERA. His is 8.5 total on the season. I just knew the Cubs. I put it on my DraftKings slip. The Cubs are going to win this game. They are playing Michael Lorenzen in Coors Field. It's going to be rookie. It's going to be crooked numbers the whole time. I had the over, had the Cubs on the money line, and I lost both money on the church's floor thanks to the Cubs. 2 hits off Michael Lorenzen, a guy with an ERA up on 8. 2 hits in 5 innings. Ian Happ stepped up to the plate. He hit a game tying solo home run at the top of the ninth to make it 2-2, which it should not have been. You should have put this team away a long time ago before you get to the ninth. But win the game, that's all that matters. Bottom of the ninth, Daniel Palencia comes in, and same thing I said about Colin Ray. Been solid for the most part of the season, but Daniel Palencia comes in, he walks the leadoff batter. Doesn't look like he's got his best stuff. Eventually gets with the walk-off hit to the pitch hitter, Sterling Thompson. Palencia didn't record a single out. And just like Colin Ray, you're not going to always have your best stuff. Sometimes you're going to get hit. But Daniel Palencia is a closer. The Cubs haven't had much opportunities to close in a month. Of course he's going to be rusty. I'm not putting any blame on Daniel Palencia. When you're actively using him, he's nails for the most part. I blame this on the offense. Once again, they left 6 men on base this game, went 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position against Michael Lorenzen. Over 8 ERA. Now his ERA is under 8 thanks to the Cubs. You lose a 1-run game because you cannot drive in guys standing on second and third. Disgusting baseball. It's It's all sound like a broken record. Every episode, in and out for the last month, same stuff. Hoping that we don't get swept, and which would be the most laughable thing in the world. Cubs come into Game 3 and they avoid the sweep. They win 9-3. Honestly, you know, I guess you can say it's a big sigh of relief because you don't want to get swept by the Rockies. You get swept by the Rockies, star cutting payroll. Would not be shocked if you did that. Big reason for this win, though, the offense finally took advantage of the Colorado Rockies and the environment. They flipped the game in the fourth inning. The Cubs were down 1-0. They loaded the bases. Seiya Suzuki hit a grand slam. He had been really bad this season with runners in score position, but he finally connected on something and put it into the seats. Alex Bregman, who hasn't homered since May 31st, he followed up later with a 2-run bomb of his own, and Carson Kelly added that last home run, a solo shot for him. Craig Counsell, maybe he got the team fired up when he got ejected. Second ejection of the season. Maybe that gave the dugout much needed Jota energy. I don't know, but I want to give credit where his credit's due. The guys who put bat to ball, Ever Cabrera, he bounced back on the mound and gave the Cubs five and a third of solid pitching. He allowed just 2 runs. He struck out 5. Good showing from him. Wasn't perfect, but it was exactly what this team needed. Desperately, to stop this bleeding and do not embarrass yourselves any further than what you've already done. Salvage this. You lost the series. Don't get swept. Do not get the Rockies a sweep. The guys who actually showed up this series, I'm gonna give a ton of credit to Ian Happ. The clutch home run in game 2 tied the game, top of the ninth. He had 2 walks in game 1 and a sac fly in game 3. It looked like he's seeing the ball real clearly right now, and he's getting a lot of good swings on the ball. I like to see that from him. His power numbers are trending up, and he's on track for career best in home runs. Also want to shout out Michael Bush. He's mashing right now. He's hitting 480 during his recent stretch. He had a solo home run in game 1 and hit another one in game 2. Gotta talk about Seiya Suzuki and Alex Bregman. Both of these guys have been struggling mightily. They delivered those 2 home runs in game 3. Biggest swing of the series. Bregman getting off the schneid. His homerless schneid, 2-run homer, should take a massive weight off his shoulders. The worst of the series, Colin Ray, obviously for his pitch performance. 5 innings in the season opener, gave up 7 earned runs. Can't do that. Daniel Palencia also, game 2, gave up the walk-off. On the offensive side, Nico Horner, incredibly disappointing right now. He's been bad the last 6, 7 weeks, maybe even longer than that. He contributed basically nothing. He can round it into a back-breaking double play right after Ian Happ's game 2, right after Ian Happ's home run that tied the game in game 2. Killed any momentum for the Cubs to go up in that game and put the pressure on the Rockies. Can't ignore Michael Conforto. Already this man he's hitting 079. That's right. Less than 100 in his last 17 games with 18 strikeouts. Guys like Nico and Conforto are giving nothing right now. It is almost impossible to sustain long offensive rallies. We got those 2 guys, and don't forget Dansby Swanson. He's also in the lineup somewhere too. You're carrying a lot of, sad to say it, dead weight right now. The Cubs are in the bottom of the first. It is scoreless right now in San Francisco. It is Javier side against their pitcher, Raup. Over the last 30 days, San Francisco has quietly been one of the better offensive teams in baseball. The Giants did take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs the last time they saw each other at Wrigley Field a week ago. Landon Raup is in the opener. He has an ERA over 5. If the Cubs offense actually woke up in game 3, they need to carry that momentum right into the Bay Area, mostly a pitcher's park. After the 3-game set in San Francisco, the Cubs are heading back to Wrigley to play the Rockies. Hopefully that is a big opportunity for them to get off that losing schneid that they've been sitting on. The Cubs have a chance to show that they can start stringing together some wins against 3 straight inferior teams, Colorado, Denver, and Colorado again. They're fighting for the season right now. Hopefully, they take care of business in San Francisco tonight and the rest of the weekend and come back and put a broom on Colorado. Well, just the fact that they lost that series in Colorado, it just makes me sick. Makes me remember that we're only 93 days away from kickoff. 93 days for the Bears start the season 1-0. We know that their coaches and their system of getting things done is right in line with that winning aura that's going on at Lake Forest. Can't tell me, Craig, And the Cubs right now had that same because it hasn't shown. Not the whole time Craig's been in Chicago. Cubs fans, though, we're not going to let this stop us from supporting the squad. We're going to still wear our hats. We're going to still wear the merch. We're not going to stop showing up to games because we're not like another fan base that shall remain nameless. No, we're not like them. We're not going to be like them that only show up the 2 years out of 10 where the team is actually decent. We're not going to be like them and only talk and twist their fingers out when it's safe to come outside. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to stay true. And even if the team don't figure it out and start stringing together some wins, as a fan base, we're going to still fly the W. Appreciate you tapping into this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Don't matter if you was watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with everybody on the block, and hit the notification bell so you never miss none of our daily drops. And to all the guys from the shy, we say 3 things. Bear down, fly the W, and sell the team, Jerry.